2 lifelong friends, 1 local establishment. The hidden truth is out there, and we're going to talk about it. What happens in the bar no longer stays in the bar. This is Conspiracy Beerists.
So, welcome to the latest episode of Conspiracy Beerists. You know who we are. He's Brian.
Yao.
And you're Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
I'm Dan. And today we're going to talk about a couple of different things. One, we're going to talk about the election we just had. So, that might be interesting. And we're going to talk about something I don't know a ton about, but Brian does, and that's Adrenocrome. So, Brian, first off, how you doing?
Not too bad. It's beginning of November.
Beginning
I guess it's middle of November now, but
of Movember.
Yeah, getting cold, and fucking Harris and Biden are acting like they won.
So you don't think they won?
I think there is a lot of fraudulent stuff going on.
So are you going to be like...
You know, he got more fucking votes than Obama did in 2012.
Who did?
Biden.
No, but...
That's fucked up. Think that happened? It didn't.
I mean, we had more people vote this time.
Right.
This is the biggest turnout...
It's crazy.
...in the history of this country. So it's a different kind of year. I know you're adverse to how we did it all and whatnot. Did you go and vote in person?
Yeah.
And what were the lines like?
Wasn't bad, really. It was like normal. I mean, there wasn't even a line to get in the place. Fenton.
I know a lot of places, well, just going on from what I watched on social media, some people were saying like you, they just walked right in, and other places like, I waited for blah, blah hours. And it's like,
right.
I'm like, not me, because I mailed mine in 5 weeks ago.
I seen a meme, and it's Kanye. He's like, I concede my...
No, he conceded in Colorado or something.
Yeah.
That right there with the whole Kanye thing, it's like, that shows you ego of people. It's like, he should know.
Right.
He's not, and he might be a huge rock star, and he wasn't going to.
He thinks he's fucking Jesus.
Yeah, he thinks he's something, but... So what do you think about the election? I know you're not happy.
It's not over yet. We'll see. I mean, people...
Oh, it's over. I mean, officially it's not over because the electorate doesn't meet until next month, but...
There's a lot going on. They found, like, Michigan's is fucking horrible. They had that Dominion. Have you heard of that?
No,
it's the voting boxes or whatever, the computers. They're actually from Venezuela. And they're like, what is that? And then they have a thing on them where you can go in and you can just switch votes. They think like 200,000, 2 million votes got switched from Biden to Trump.
Who came up with that number, though?
Which one? 2 million?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they just went through all the states that had that Dominion, and they figured it out somehow. I don't know if it's...
Well, one thing I'll say in defense of that is his own Homeland Security said this was the most secure vote of all time. So,
well, that's what they did too. They supposedly had watermarks on some of their ballots, on the legal ones. So the Department of Justice did that because of 2018 when the primaries, I think, something happened, and so yeah, they supposedly watermarked, but I don't understand. If they watermarked, they should know everything, you know, where they're at and everything. It's weird. It's fucking weird.
So you're not going to admit that Biden won the election then?
There's no fucking way he won. No way.
But he did.
He didn't. Honestly, he didn't honestly win.
No. Okay. Well, we'll have to agree to disagree.
We'll see.
I mean, you already know the person I voted for didn't win. So.
She conceded before Kanye. JJ.
They actually haven't said much about all they've really been shown is the Trump and Biden. They haven't really
Right.
shown any third-party votes for anything. Maybe
It's crazy.
They see that and it's like, well, I'll just throw this one away.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
It doesn't count. But one thing that the Trump supporters forget is he actually lost the popular vote 4 years ago
right,
to Hillary. So yeah, and he won the electoral, and it's the same thing happened right now, just in reverse.
Right.
And it's the exact same electoral count that he won by 4 years ago that Biden won by now, or as you say, won by.
Harris won.
But you're not as angry as I kind of expect you to be, so.
We don't get angry. We don't flip out.
You
Just
don't?
let it go.
Do you think once the electorate becomes official in December, he'll finally
Get re-voted in? Or concede? You
Yeah.
think? No,
No.
no. I mean, if he does lose, he'll concede. But
I mean, this won't be the one thing I can say.
they said that George Bush and John Kerry last until December 25th or something.
The Gore and one.
Yeah, Gore. That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
that
Gore.
lasted because it ended up going to the Supreme Court, I think. But this won't because they're all getting thrown out in court. So
No, not all of them. They won some.
they haven't won any yet in court.
In Pennsylvania, I thought.
No, it just got thrown out like Friday.
Pennsylvania did?
Pennsylvania and Michigan and 2 other states threw out the whatever the
Bitch.
Yeah.
Bone.
Rich DeBone. Who's that?
Dick the Bone.
So next time we meet, we may or may not officially know who the
Nancy
president.
Pelosi.
That's the other thing people are forgetting. There's still like 2 or 3 Senate races
Right.
that are being counted. So
It's a fucking mess. See, that some people think that this is what he's showing what Democrats are doing. Like this is part of what they've been doing for years, and Republicans, but our 2-party system. So he's trying to show off, not necessarily him, but the right is trying to show what goes on with these fucking elections. So this could have been happening for fucking years and years and years, obviously, except last year or 2016. I mean,
well, I will say one thing in defense of him. He won't be, if he doesn't concede and doesn't do all that stuff, he won't be the first president because Adams did it when he lost to Jefferson.
but they didn't concede.
He didn't concede. He didn't go to the inauguration or the handoff or whatever they
Right.
call it before the inauguration. And Andrew Jackson did the same thing when he lost. He got so butthurt that he just packed his shit and left Washington.
Andrew Jackson, he was a fucking Mason too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was
It's crazy.
the
too.
the only president that allegedly ever killed somebody and got in office. So,
Wow.
But
Crazy stuff.
it's weird, wild stuff. But we're going to talk a little bit about adrenochrome today. So, Brian, can you sum up adrenochrome? We'll post a little video on this podcast to catch people up. But Brian,
Yeah, what it is it's when a child or a younger person is tortured and hurt or whatever. This adrenaline goes into the blood, and it's actually, I said before that it was from the walnut or your one eye or whatever, but it's actually on your lungs and it oxidizes the blood. But supposedly it gives you a crazy DMT buzz. It's very addictive drug, supposedly, and it's all over Hollywood. They seem to think that Wuhan, China, was making it, which is the same place that they had the disease.
I noticed you never say COVID. You always say the disease.
China COVID. But yeah, and then it's just like many thousands of years ago, where they would sacrifice children and give them to Baphomet or whatever. And shit still goes on today. It's a mystery religions.
So
Crazy.
what is it in modern times? Is that something you think that they're using with these kids or whatnot? Or
Yes, they think that, like, all these Hollywood stars during COVID, COVID, right when it started out, they were all flipping out, supposedly acting weird, and they thought they were coming down from adrenochrome. I don't think it's that big a deal to where it's not quite mainstream yet. It's mainstream, but it's not like cocaine or whatever. So yeah, they all get together, torture little kids, drink the blood. And I said it before, like on Red Dawn, when they shoot the deer, they drink the
right.
blood. I thought that might have something to do with it, kind of. And then it's fucking nuts, man. All these kids are disappearing, and there's posts of what's the dick from Facebook? Zuckerberg.
Right. The dick from Facebook.
He's got a post on Facebook saying he's at Little St. James Island, and he starts talking about adrenochrome. I have to get that to you somehow. The post, and we'll put it up. It's crazy, but it's just like the lizard thing, you know. Lizards supposedly eat human babies,
right?
So I wonder if that has something to do with this whole thing. It's crazy that the queen, she's fucking fruity.
So it's like a drug, basically.
Yes,
it's another
DMT supposedly is like what it is, kind of like a take you out of your body drug.
Oh, so like ayahuasca or ayahuasca or whatever that stuff is called.
Ayahuasca.
Oh, one day we're just gonna sit here and reminisce and record it, and people are gonna be like, "Hell, this shit's funny, but what the hell are these guys talking about?" Bush. What's interesting? I mean, has there been any big names linked to it, or is it still kind of on the QT?
It's still. I mean, there's a lot of people linked, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. What's his face that wrote that? We talk about this guy all the time.
Oh,
God damn it! I just seen it the other day too.
I'm forgetting his name now,
but
I'll think of it after we get done talking.
He takes it in that movie, and he's like, I'm getting crazy with it. And supposedly gets you really horny.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson, yes.
Right.
And it makes you horny. It's a youth serum. Young blood is a big thing. It's like Dracula, kind of. Like they'll stay alive forever. They keep sucking blood. But they won't. These people nowadays, they don't want to do it to older people, like say us or even 20-year-olds, because they're already dirty. You know what I mean? They're not pure and clean like these kids.
Allegedly.
Fucking loony.
So it's kind of along the lines of anti-vaxxers, which I know predominantly you are, and you said last podcast that when the COVID vaccine becomes available, you probably won't take it.
No,
so
probably not.
Is that the same reason? Because you're anti-vaccine stance.
What do you mean, like the adrenochrome?
Yeah. Well, yeah, sort of.
No, I would never take it.
Is that why you think? Because that would make you somebody less pure. That's.
If I was to take adrenochrome?
Not you specifically. Anyone that that wanted the adrenochrome.
No, I just think the only way to get it is through torturing little kids, and that's the bad part about it. And all these little kids missing, but then there's some little kids they'll get, and then they'll put them in high places of power. It's fucking crazy.
Brainwashing them, basically.
Yeah.
And then,
Right. And it all comes to Pizzagate. It comes to Epstein Island, Little St. James. These fucking people are Looney Tunes.
I'll have to look up Little St. James because I have no idea what
That's
that.
Epstein Island.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Big St. James he owns that too. And it's a bigger island.
He doesn't own anything now.
Right. Broken neck.
Remember, he killed himself.
Yeah. Then I seen a video where they didn't watch the video because it said that prisoners were talking about Epstein and Trump and Epstein and Clinton's. Like he's really gonna fucking talk to these fucking idiot prisoners about this shit, you know?
Like he even had access to her.
Right.
They even had access to him. But
right. Ghislaine's still alive.
that's kind of, yeah,
crazy.
that's the last I heard. She had COVID, but I haven't heard anything recently. So
Nuts. There's this one girl that's, I don't know if they're looking for her, but she's one of the main ones. She's a photographer. Her name's Rachel Chandler. And she goes by Ray Chandler sometimes, but she'll take all these pictures for these fucking loony guys on Facebook that are from Pizzagate and all that, which is Comet Ping Pong. And she'll put her name on there, but no one seems to know who she is. Like there's pictures of her with Eminem and Bill Clinton. And so she's probably one of the girls, but she was like just a higher up, not Ghislaine high up, but like assistant manager.
So she has the keys to the store, but she's not allowed to open it. Is that what you're saying?
You call her and say, "How you doing?"
She gets to take home all the hot dogs that they didn't sell for the night, like
for
Red.
dogs.
Maybe that's what we should do sometime is well, you brought it up a couple times, sit here and record and reminisce, and so everyone watching, hopefully you'd laugh because we are funny, but you're like, the hell are these guys talking about?
But back then it was good.
Right.
Yeah.
The hell is Stinging doing? What does
Right.
that
Wow, that is a weird one, isn't it? Wasn't we checking the cards?
Yeah.
Baseball cards? Amazing.
Take the penny out of the save a penny thing and
Yeah.
scrape the wax back on.
Right.
Companies got smarter with that. They started cellophaning those bastards.
Yeah. That was the good old days.
So do you think, okay, we'll play the game.
All right.
If Biden is the president, do you think all of this stuff that has been coming to light the last 4 years will get pushed?
Yes, I think it'll get pushed away. Unless like something happens where supposedly after Trump gets out of office, he wants to get a news station.
I was going to ask you about
You're
that
a
later.
Fox
Yeah.
against Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if he's going to go on, have that and have people talk about it, or, you know, because that's what pisses me off. This whole thing's been going on for 4 years. And then if he loses, it's just nothing, you know, it's all goes back to shit. And
I was just reading about it before you got here, and it's Trump allies explored a buyout of Newsmax TV as a Fox News alternative.
right. Because they called Georgia or whatever, or Arizona earlier or something. Fox did.
Right. Well,
So he pissed them off.
he got butthurt because I mean he said it the whole time he doesn't like to lose, so people knew this was going to happen. I mean Barnett.
Yeah. He's a lonesome loser.
So there's no big names associated with Adrenocrome yet, or just nobody has been outed.
Well, they try and out these people, like Ellen. If you look on her show and it shows the backdrop and all this, it's got like a building with these blue lines, like an Egyptian building.
Right.
It's the same colors as Epstein Island's Egyptian building. So they think that you go in there and do rituals, or they seem to think that. Remember, I brought up Maria Abramovich,
Right.
and she was into the spirit cooking, which is blood and fucking period blood and cum and all that shit, bodily fluids.
Yum.
Yes, yum cum. But she's pretty much a witch. But she got a hold of Lady Gaga, took her to a thing with one of her handlers, and
Chelsea Handler.
yeah, she thought she was there. I imagine her and 50 Cent. And then, so I mean, there are people that are into it, like the Podestas are in. You'd think Hillary would be in, Clinton, Jay-Z, all the big names, and they tried it, I imagine. And there's that cannibal restaurant in Hollywood. It's owned by Zuckerberg's wife and her sisters. So I'm sure there's some sort of adrenochrome going through that. The
cannibal.
There's a cannibal restaurant, and
It's an actual cannibal
that's
restaurant.
what they say. I don't understand how it's legal.
That's the first I've heard of that. So.
Yeah, and it's Zuckerberg's wife and sisters, and she's Asian. Asians eat people, anyways. I think.
I'm sure not all Asians eat.
Not the American Asian.
I mean, I don't think Dahmer was an Asian, and he liked to eat.
I'm just saying that. I mean, there are whites too that eat them, but it's fucking loony.
So let me ask you an off-the-wall question. If you say you were stuck on a desert island and there was no food,
yeah, I'd eat a person if I had to.
Yeah, to live, you would.
Yeah, probably.
Get the fire going, you know.
No balls, and cock and balls, and nothing.
No hairy balls on you.
Yeah. Singe it off.
I would have to be like close to death to do it.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah, it's not one of my bucket lists or nothing like that.
No, it's like adrenochrome. That's all there is. And so
It is fucking crazy.
what else is there about adrenochrome that we don't know about?
Like I said, that actually there's the EpiPen. Have you heard of that?
Yeah,
I think it's an adrenaline thing for like
diabetes
Narcan.
or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
But if you let it date out or expire, then it turns to adrenochrome supposedly, which is fucking weird. I don't know how that works. But like I said, it's a DMT buzz, makes you horny. It's a youth serum, which keeps these people younger. And if you look at what's her face that sings that Titanic song?
Celine Dion.
Yes, if you look at her.
What's her face?
It's just quicker that way. I bring up that shit. And if you look at her, I mean, she's had some problems in the last few years, but she's all fucking weird looking, skinny as hell.
Well, she was always like
Gross skinny.
Yeah.
And then just Ellen, Oprah probably does it. See, supposedly Oprah and Whoopi Goldberg got in like a argument over The Color Purple, the movie.
Right.
There was something to do with babies being sacrificed or something. And Oprah did it, and Whoopi got mad at her. I don't know if it's true, but that's something I heard. But then Whoopi's got to be doing it now. Fucking sick bitch.
So do you think everybody that gets big in Hollywood falls into
Not
it? Or do you
everybody.
think some...
I think there's some, remember, I can't remember his name, but he's a Christian in Hollywood, and he didn't go to this Biden-Harris Democratic Party or whatever, but he's on the Avengers. I can't remember his name, though. He's a bigger dude.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of...
Anyways, everybody went against him thinking he was for Trump because he didn't go to this Biden thing, right? For the Avengers.
Right.
And So people calling him a fucking asshole, and so then you got people on the Avengers sticking up for him, saying, he's a Christian, he doesn't really go to this kind of things, and it's just crazy, man. So I'm saying these kind of people like him, he doesn't really get into the stuff. I don't know how he gets higher and higher in Hollywood, but weird.
Well, some people are Christians that are, yes.
So much talented.
There are Christians that are bad people too.
Oh,
so,
yes, for sure.
I mean, they might not be true Christians, but they.
But I'm just saying that's why he didn't do this. He's not trying to get into this fucking war between two sides of fucking.
Oh, I totally get that. I have been making a social media profession out of avoiding getting on either side of an aisle.
You can't.
Yes, I can, and I did.
No, I mean, you just can't get in the aisles.
I mean, and I might have family members that watch or listen to this, but I made it a profession the last 60 days to snooze people on Facebook.
Right.
Because, like, okay,
it's over. Fucking annoying.
Because, I mean, that's one difference. One thing that you and I have that's good on this podcast is we can have a differing opinion and still get along, whereas people on social media get behind their phone or their keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I'm big man on campus.
Right.
Dot.
Period. It is crazy though. It's crazy how far people take it. And I get it this one because it's supposedly good versus evil and all that shit. But it's like
yeah, but what's good and what's evil? Because you never really know.
Biden's evil.
Yeah, but there's another side that thinks that Trump is evil. So it's all in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
So
maybe
research. That's why aliens haven't landed on this planet. It's like, screw that.
They're the next ones to come. First there was what are those fucking murder hornets or whatever?
Right.
Like, send in the aliens.
I actually watched the little video of them cleaning that nest out. Those are some big ass bees.
Fucking monsters. I would shit myself. For sure.
I don't think your little house fly swatter is going to take care of that.
Electrical. Yeah, they're huge. Aren't they like fucking 2 inches?
Yeah, there's like half the size of the dude's hand he was holding.
Yeah, no chance. They still sting when they're dead too. Fuck that.
Yeah, there's a reason they're murder hornets.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No, I cannot imagine. So they crack up some of my coworkers because obviously we have a warehouse that we store everything in, and this one he's so petrified of spiders. And there's a spider coming along. I'm like, really, dude? It's a spider. Step on it.
Right. You're bigger. You know?
Yeah, you outweigh it by a good 250 pounds.
Right. It's supposedly more scared of you than you are. What's really going to happen? You're going to get bit by it?
No, because it's on the floor.
Right. Yeah, you're going to itch for a fucking week. Edit.
Yeah, I'll edit that. So one thing Brian is talking about doing in future podcasts, and we'll figure out a way to do it, is kind of doing reaction videos. As I actually hit my mic for once, and not exactly sure what or how we're going to do it yet, but it might be something we include in this.
Or even when we're talking about something, we can bring up stuff, like pop stuff up on the video, even though a lot of people are listening to it instead of
right.
So, but
well, we'll just have to figure out videos that have audio in it to where if they're listening on an audio podcast, they'll be able to follow along. So
it's awesome.
Any final thoughts on Adrenocrome, or just
don't do it. That'd be illegal.
I mean, I assume it is.
Yeah, I think it's illegal. Like, I think they made it illegal just recently. even though you get it from little kids, it's got to be illegal. You know, I don't understand how you can drink somebody's blood and it not be illegal.
I mean, is this like adrenaline or is it?
It's adrenaline that goes in. It's oxidized blood, supposedly, that when they get tortured or something really bad happens to them.
I always assume that's why they locked up blood in like hospitals and stuff, because it was illegal to take. And
Yeah.
I didn't think it was just because you've seen all these old 50s horror movies of crazy doctors stealing body parts and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
that shit goes on now. Planned Parenthood.
So is there something you want to talk about in a future podcast or what? Because we have the holidays coming up and I've got one.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. Next one. Shoot. What do you think?
Shoot the shit with 2 O's.
Shit, let's do those. I don't know. We can talk about.
Well, one thing, you sort of brought it up a little bit about the alien thing, is there's the big topic we sort of talked about it on a previous podcast about the moon and everything. And what's his name? The Tesla dude, Elon Musk, SpaceX just launched somebody the first.
Now, did you see that someone landed on a comet? We just did not too long ago.
I heard they were researching it, but I didn't. Or they landed a non. There wasn't a pilot on it. It was
right.
A robotic ship or whatever.
Yeah.
On one.
It's crazy watching them get excited about it because you don't know when it's going to happen, and that you're just watching people at their computers going get all excited.
I mean, you used to do that when we played Aerobiz all the time.
It was a good game too. Yeah.
So what's next? Nicolas Cage has to go.
Yeah. It's Armageddon. They go drill.
Yeah, it was Armageddon where they. I mean, because wasn't there like 3 different movies at the same time that were all about
probably
Armageddon and Deep Impact and I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever is trending. But then it takes them 2 to 3 years to make the fucking movie, right?
Yeah, but we've talked about this before. They're deciding what we're going to be trending on.
Right.
So. But yeah, I mean, you see it happens all the time. And look at all the TV shows that come out that are essentially the same thing.
You know, always got to have a gay. Thanks, Ellen. She started it, didn't she?
So wait, you want them back in the closet? Is that what you're saying? No. Not that
No, I
there's
don't
anything
care.
wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. But I think that was part of the agenda that they have. And remember Murphy Brown had a baby and it was a big deal because she was a single mother. What the fuck kind of world is this?
Well, that'll show you how much has changed.
Yeah.
Just this morning I was reading why I was reading, I don't know, about the Mary Tyler Moore show. Originally, she was supposed to be divorced, and the network officials in the early 70s like, nah, we can't have no divorced woman on TV.
But wasn't that a big time? Didn't was the guy's name Lou or something?
Was Lou Grant?
Yeah. Didn't he wasn't he a sexual harassing guy? Or wasn't?
Oh, Ed Asner?
Yeah. He didn't
think so, but
I can't remember if I heard something on that or not. Mary Tyler Moore show.
Are you talking about Dick Van Dyke?
No. I'm talking about the little bald guy. The little heavy bald guy.
Huh.
I don't know if it happened. Don't research it. No. Don't
do your research. And I was thinking about sports too, because I'd be getting so pissed off with Michigan this year that.
How can they be this bad?
Because their coach blows.
Harbaugh sucks?
Yes.
That's
kind of what I thought we could talk about. It won't be a full show, but maybe a quick topic one is how sports divides people, because I have friends that'll flat out defend him till the end. And here's Michigan sitting at 1-3.
Right.
And they've been getting nothing but worse, but they're like, you got to give him time. Dude has been there for 7 years.
7 years now?
Well, it's the 6th year this year. So
either way, that's thinking 4 years. Holy fuck. And he got a 10-year contract, right? Or something? Is that what it was?
He's got 1 more year on his contract, but they haven't offered him an extension yet. So everyone's talking about whether it's going to be he's going to walk away or they're going to fire him. But
man, he took every team he had pretty good except Michigan, right?
Yeah. I mean,
crazy.
Super Bowl lost,
Kaepernick.
but he got there. Stanford was in the Rose Bowl. They won the Pac-12 or
Andrew
Pac-10.
Luck.
A lot of people are talking now that's how he got his success is because he had Andrew Luck at Stanford.
Right.
Then he went to San Francisco and he had Kaepernick.
Which he was pretty good, actually, at that point.
He just wasn't great. And
right.
I totally understand why.
And the team was hot as fuck.
Right. I mean, you can take any team.
The defense was brilliant.
Right.
You got this little fucking racist mixed white guy.
His name was Guido.
Kaepernick.
So that's a couple of the things I want to talk about. And I don't know if there's like a Christmassy sort of cults is another thing I think we should get into at some point. Like,
yeah, I just watched the thing on Nexium. Remember I told you about that? It supposedly follows kind of the same things as Scientology. And there was a chick in Hollywood that was actually trafficking kids through that and trafficking people. But it was, you know, that Superman TV show they had?
Lois and Clark?
No, the other one. Where it's Smallville, yeah.
Okay.
She's on that. Allison.
I think I did hear about her.
Hair.
Yeah.
Allison Mack is what her name is. Well, the guy that ran Nexium, he was like a major genius, and he had like Guinness Book of World Records IQ and all this. But he comes out and he fucking brands chicks with his initials on their right next to their stuff.
Next to their stuff. Show me your stuff, my God.
Then they would take nude pictures of them so they couldn't leave the vault.
So like blackmail pictures or something? That would be a fun one to talk about. Not that I'm interested in cults, but it is kind of interesting. It's like, what's his name? That
Koresh?
Well, not even, we can talk about Koresh too. I was talking about Jim Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, they were getting ready to...
They were killing governors on that island and shit.
Yeah, they were getting ready to bust in on him in California. It's like packs them all. He has them so brainwashed, they all moved to Costa Rica or whatever.
Jonesville or whatever.
That's crazy. That's a good one we can talk about.
It's like, how do these people get so confident that these other people are going to follow them? You know what I mean? That deep. Where they're like, fuck it, I'll drink some Kool-Aid for this fruitcake.
Yeah, what was that? Marshall Applewhite? That for the Heaven's Gate dude?
Right.
Here, drink this Kool-Aid. Put these Nikes on first. Sweet Nikes. Maybe Phil Knight was, I'm going to get sued for that.
Yeah, right.
Well, that'll be fun. And if anybody out there has a conspiracy they'd like us to talk about in future podcasts, just let us know on YouTube or Facebook at Conspiracy Beerists 911. And I guess if we don't have anything else to talk about, we'll just kind of close with happy election. Oh, wait a minute, the election's already over, isn't it? Don't take our word for it.
Do your research.
Later.
Ryan and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe either wherever it is you listen to the podcast or on YouTube. And if you have a suggestion of a conspiracy you'd like us to talk about, let us know on Facebook
or YouTube at Conspiracy Beerists. And until next time, remember, the truth is out there. You just have to know where to look.
WLLP Spock Rock Radio.